Namo Manju Shi Ye, Namo Su Shi Ye, Namo Dhamma Shi Ye Su Ju Dang Zu Ge Chu Na La, Jiang Ju Ba Do Na Ne Gyab Su Ji, Da Ge Chun Ye Ji Be Cu Nang Ge, Zhuo La Ben Je Sang Ge Zhu Ba Shu, Ju Dang Zu Ge Chu Na La, Jiang Ju Ba Do Na Ne Gyab Su Ji, Da Ge Chun Ye Ji Be Cu Nang Ge, Zhuo La Ben Je Sang Ge Zhu Ba Shu, Ju Dang Zu Ge Chu Na La, Jiang Ju Ba Do Na Ne Gyab Su Ji, Da Ge Chun Ye Ji Be Cu Nang Ge, Zhuo La Ben Je Sang Ge Zhu Ba Shu, Ji Be Ge Shu Xin Be Do Zhang, Zhi Ra Ling Xin Yi De Gen Ba Di, Sang Jie Xin Do Mi De Bu Hua Ye, Zhou Pi Nan Da Xin La Jue Ma Shu, Gu Zhou Ran Na Men Da La Gan Pe Ya Da Ya Mi.
Atoma Tumari is indeed a 20 dog Cindy, Manoji cutting Chibu, Chata, Mama Jiba, Machiba, 20 the mountain at the one of the London, the Union Mountain, the water, the water,
Please adjust your sitting posture according to the 7 meditative postures of Vairocana. Think, all sentient beings have been my mothers. All sentient beings have been my mothers not just once, but numberless times. All sentient beings are as kind as my mother in this life. Even though all kind mother sentient beings want happiness and do not even want a small suffering, due to mistakenly engaging with objects of adoptions and abandonment, they do not experience any happiness but suffering. In our minds, sincerely generate loving kindness towards all kind mother sentient beings by thinking, how nice it would be if all kind mother sentient beings were to have excellent happiness and the causes of excellent happiness that are virtues. May they have excellent happiness and its causes. I'll cause them to have excellent happiness and its causes. Lama deity, please bless me to be able to do so.
That is the water, the water, the water, the water is into the tongue, the way that the way Jumbo Gio,
Next, we generate compassion towards all suffering mother sentient beings by thinking, how nice it would be if all mother sentient beings were free from all suffering and the causes of suffering that are non-virtues. May they be free from all suffering and its causes. I'll free them from all suffering and the causes of suffering. Lama deity, please bless me to be able to do so.
What is it doing? It's a constant quality. It's a good one to consider. Yarana Poli Cadini Gasi Hanta will be Sanji Kumbara, Yeda when he was like Yanda will be Sanjela, you see a clinic in Sanji Kumbara, which you get up by showing what was in the Virginia Chandu siblings.
Next, we generate bodhicitta. First, we ask ourselves, who should take the responsibility to free all mother sentient beings from the sufferings of samsara and lower realms? I should take the responsibility to free all mother sentient beings from sufferings of samsara and lower realms. Even though I should take the responsibility, I do not have the ability to place them in the state of perfect, complete enlightenment now. Who has such ability? Only those who have achieved the state of perfect, complete enlightenment have the abilities to do so. Therefore, for the sake of all mother sentient beings, I will achieve the precious state of enlightenment.
That is a Tombani Chiston, Dapuni, Yichida, Tade, Kandoya, Maduber, you to be Tombani, Sata, Tombani, Yichudis and lines.
Next, we meditate on the meaning of emptiness for a short while. The self and the aggregates do not exist as inherently one. If they were inherently one, they would necessarily be established be partless one. Therefore, the self and the aggregates do not exist as inherently one.
대제에서 그런 식으로 신성제 통제 지도도 상지지 공부도 대제도 당이 취했으니 나는 측이도 좀 신성제가 공부도 그런 지했어.
The self and the aggregates also do not exist as inherently different. If they were inherently different, the self and the aggregates, they would necessarily be established as unrelated to the others. Therefore, the self and the aggregates do not exist as inherently others. Set motivation. For the sake of all mother sentient beings, I will achieve the state of enlightenment. For this, I will listen to the holy teaching and properly practice in order to benefit sentient beings.
도진이 딩고데 맞아마 고리 용다 마시 시고와 고리 용다데 사와데서 데 줄랑 사와데 상주는지 추 법이초 손에 민보이시 강도다 데 이시 때도 전주 초도서 신지 군대 신진나다 데세 물어가 진도와 어디가 강도디시마 쉐이스와.
So we are going to talk about the orders of the seven Vajra point. So it's under the outlines of definite enumeration. So definite enumerations of the seven Vajra points is from Buddha, the Dharma, from the Dharma, the assembly of Aryas, from the assembly, the Tathāgata Essence. Assorted wisdom is attained upon the ending of the element. Attainment of this assorted wisdom is attaining supreme enlightenment. Endowed with attributes of powers and so on that bring forth the welfare of all sentient beings. So definite orders, then it follows by a question. What is the connection between these 7 points to be realized wherein there is a definite order of one following the other by nature?
나서 변에 샤게 공부를 취중 걸었고 사산직 취소가 되나 지는 친구를 봐. 친구 또 원래서 친구 거서 누구 친구 와. 어디래? 사산직이 동봉을 봐서 사진에 또 비추에 시초고도 투스 취네 뜻되잖아. 또 누구 취대. 누구 친구고 농구 친구권에 뜻되자도 취니 안에 쓰기도지. 안에 쓰기지는 또 동반이 정말 수도 같이 또나 또 밥이 기니고 좋아서 차버렸어. 또 밥이 기니고 다 달리 그랬어.
So under this outline definite order, it shows the connections between these 7 Vajra points. So the first one is oneself becoming enlightened. So oneself become Buddha. And then the second one is the Dharma jewel, right? So Dharma jewel can be divided into 2. So when we talk about Dharma, then Dharma can be divided into 2. So one is the realizational teaching or Dharma, and the second one is scriptural teaching. So when we talk about then we talk about the wheel of Dharma. So the wheel of Dharma of scriptural teaching, the wheel of scriptural teaching and the wheel of scriptural teaching. So in other words, you can say wheel of realizational Dharma and wheel of scriptural Dharma. So yeah, so then so oneself having become enlightened, so this shows the Dharma jewel. And the second is, when we talk about Dharma can be divided into these 2. So the final, you can say the final or the final wheel of realizational Dharma is the wisdom truth body. So oneself realizes this wisdom truth body, the ultimate wheel of realizational Dharma, and then one turns the wheel of scriptural Dharma to disciples. So this is the second one, the Dharma jewel. So like for example, the wheel of Dharma at Vulture Pig and the wheel of Dharma at Varanasi, those are wheel of scriptural Dharma. And then the third one is, so those disciples having listened to the teaching and practice it, and whenever they directly realize the meaning of emptiness, they become the Arya Sangha jewel. The nyomong chiriba draw a day, come the worship in Nimbo Dero. So the first one shows the Buddha jewel, and the second one shows the Dharma jewel, and the third one shows the Arya Sangha jewel. So then these are the first 3 jewels. And then the fourth one is those Arya Sangha jewel, they train their mind in the basic element. So in other words, is they train their mind in emptiness. And when the purity of respective afflictions. So they train their mind in emptiness, right? So and then it purifies respective afflictions. So the separations or the purity of respective afflictions is the basic element, the Tathāgata essence.
다 대가서 나서 컴 대화 시비니 무엇이데 말이 요다 되다 간 대화 시비니 몰래서 다 주마찌리 봐 다바지 토바 대
공다지라 제산에 대 컴 대화 시비 닝보이나 대한 되는 이유로 지나데 지나데 동만이 되나래 신다 니바데 니데 녀몽지리 봐 다와데 양컴 대화 시비 닝보야
몸 도치와 대화 시비니 뭐 대공배 도제 다 녀몽지리 봐 다바지 토바 다바지
니데 녀몽지리 봐 다바데 양컴 대화 시비 닝보 세기요래
다바지 대화 시비니 뭐 되기 니발라 거라 되기 니바 대공바 대로 장바스티네 대로 장발라티네 녀몽지리 봐 다바지 토
탐 대화 시비 닝보라 데 로 장바
로 장바스티네 녀몽지리 봐 다바지
통기로
그래서 하디 돼야 돼 가서 대화 시비니 뭐 되기 도지와 대로 장바 도지
That's all. Sorry, I rephrase. Just now, the fourth one is those Arya Sangha jewel. So they train their mind in the basic element, the Tathāgata essence. So by the power of the Tathāgata essence, the basic element, then they attain the purity of respective afflictions, or they attain a separation from respective afflictions.
that come the worship ni bo de gong doji that tomachiri batabi that tomachiri bata na ta anda ngoga ji ban da bo jire tarwa that tomachiri bata daba togres that de do yanja lo jang kha de worship ni bo da yanja kha tomachiri
나바로
아바로 that tomachiri bata ba de yanja lo jang de worship ni bo lo jang wadi da toma thara seba ro de lo jang yanja lo jang de toma thanchi 세비 때 이게 싹 토르레스 정말 탄지 세비 이게 또 정말 탄지 답이 때 이게 싹 토르데 때 장주서에 토르다가나
주마 탐지 세비
정말 타라 세비 이게 딱 칸데 와시 로데 로장으로와 로장 담보 로자디 정말 찌리바 답이 답아지 토아 데이데도 양자 그 로장우디 정말 타라 세비 이게 토르레스 정말 타라 세비 이게 토르데 때 장주서에 토르다가나 나가서 머리 치우디 나와서 뭐래 어디 토르
So at first, when they train their mind in the Tathāgata essence, the basic element, so then they attain the purity of respective afflictions. So then they continue to train their mind in the Tathāgata essence, the basic element, and whenever they attain, when they attain the exalted wisdom that exhausts all the defilements, or in which defilements are all exhausted, then they attain enlightenment. So this is the fifth one. So I repeat. So by the power of, the number 4 is they train their mind in the Tathāgata essence, the basic element, then they attain purity of respective afflictions, right? So then they continue to train their mind in the Tathāgata essence, the basic element. So when they attain the exalted wisdom, whose defilements are totally exhausted, then they attain enlightenment. So this is the fifth one.
Oh, yeah. That was Changju Tosarwa. That Changju Todi, that Changju Todi, Changju Digi Chepa Karato, then was not that Changju Todi Chepa de, that was the days of the deal. Changju Todi Digi Chepa Karadin was that, Chichi Karadin was not. That you did dry in this Sunjazani, the Nami in this Sunjazanish, that you did to such deal. Yes, in the to such what. That Changju get to Changju Digi Chepa.
So after when they attain enlightenment, so what does this enlightenment? What attributes does enlightenment possesses? Then these attributes refers to qualities, which is number 6. So then there are 32. There are 64 qualities, and they are 30. When it's divided, there are 32 qualities of separation, and there are 32 qualities of fruition.
Oh, that on the Changju Todi, that the Changju Cheba on the Yundi is to Jitsashi Torwa. I indeed to Jitsaki Todi, that Changju Digi Cheba the Che the Karatogu is Nadina Dua, Cheba the Che is what the Jalan Zebantry. That's on the then Zebantry, and Zebantry, they told trade to yes, what trade, Dengris, that Dengris, and that Cheba Cheba, Changju Digi Cheba, Yundi, which is Zaja, Changju Digi Cheba the Che, that on the Yundi, Chile, and Chile, Chile, Sanji Chile, the body, yes, Chile, the body, what that Dijalama is about Chile, is about Chile, Sanji Chile, yes, and Chile, what did that partition of that is what 많이 좀 말다.
뭔가 기실라 티키바 기추 나당 당 키바 나디 로아레
어때 인데지 치바 델레 치바 치도 오라다.
델레 치바 연된 레레
델레 치바 치. 델레 치다.
So when one attains enlightenment, then one possesses 64 qualities, and then what are the attributes? There is more because they are more distinguished. Yeah, what are the attributes? They are more distinguished than these 64 qualities, and that is the enlightened activities. So that the enlightened activities for the sake of disciples. So then they attain the enlightened activities for the sake of disciples.
이거 치고 치도. 다 간다 가서 데리다. 다 간다 가서 컴디와이 듄도와 다 듄보 때 가서 어린 종다들라 무슨 상황 방방이나 딱 되고 여러고 상황 가서 어린만 용다지도 다 들라 가서 기타 배치 가서 왜냐지나 산지 군조 때 델라티는 다 연대 하마 주가도 델라티는 토리 예스로 인제 주가 인제 담아 토요와 주가데 산지 군조 델라티는 토바리 예스 디시고다
네
토요와 네 주고데 산지 군조 네 담보 델라티는 다 인제 주고 토바리 예스 다 도치잖아 자상 지요.
So this is the order of the 7 Vajra points. So first, so there is one way that when we talk about this order of the 7 Vajra points, then one way of describing this order of the 7 Vajra points is by depending on the first point, which is Buddha jewel, then the rest of the points, so the remaining 6 points are attained.
그 토바리에서 당가서 두서 림바 로당 두서 지켜오지 당가서 야 두서 림바 제당지 세우데 먼저 패치 준제지 연제 림바데 지자는 리그리 했어. 지난 먼저 림바 로당이 도와 지난 패치 준제 연제 림바지 하나 바지 인지도 그래 되나 다만 먼저 지난 준제 연제 림바디야 야나 디스 쳐봐 요와 안다데 림바 로당 돌아 얘네 준제 연제 림바라고 하나 리그리 했어. 패치 리그리 했어.
그 군제 림바데 자나 패치 디로
패치 리그리 했어. 이나 당어 지셔 지여다. 근데 토다 림바 주나데. 림바 주나지 도와. 뭐 림바 주나데 당어서 준대 된지 림바라. 지당 지나 바뀐 진도 그래서 디치 송거다.
So yeah, is probably okay to link these orders of the 7 Vajra points from the because based on the cause and effect, or based on the order of cause and effect. So it is most probably fine to link the order of the 7 Vajra points by way of cause and effect.
비지트잖아. 니그데 이나야. 가서 군주 손대 가서 제보다와 군주 손대 제보다 칸은 이 조안이는 시리스 보러와. 그만 가서 자원이 보러와. 탐대이. 군주 손대 제보. 칸데 이 조안 니레지 조 시스 보러와. 대이 니레로. 제보 군주 손 토야 요러와. 이 조안이네. 이 조안이네. 당가서 원에만 단다 샤우디 되가러와 진짜 보사마. 진짜 눈이 준비만 보사 되지. 눈에 된지 진짜 원에做的만 있어 되러와. 컴들와 마시 보디 컴데디 조안이레스. 와, 이 조안이레의 시리스. 자들 이제 보고 있는 시. 나 장주서 심마송 요러와. 예. 진리스 회지시지. 나한테 같이 뭐만 지켜서와. 예. 심마송에 장주다 있는데 전에서 회지시지리스. 제리스. 어디에 기시고. 다 간다.
So as mentioned just now, it's most probably okay to or fine to link this order of the 7 Vajra points by way of cause and effect. However, the actual cause and effect, if you were to really explain the cause and effect, then it would be the first 3, which is the 3 jewels, are the results, and the 4th one, which is the basic element, is the cause or the substantial cause. And the remaining three refer to enlightenment qualities and enlightened activities, and then they are the conditions or cooperative conditions.
다양한 군주수는 대부 샤우디 다지랑 나서배 뉴지지 준비 계제 시거든요. 양들을 뒤서 갈래요. 나서 뭐에 지금 가서 Jordan Rebus showing us in the Jitsu, the Jilla shouted that the young Bijaka over. So Digi, nothing of the owner that Jishi Jewish, Jajan Rebus, lower that Jordan Rebus and the Jim would have lower. In the Jim would lower. Monita, Judy showed it, and Jordan Rebus said, showing us Jishi Joe, Jajan Rebus, the Jim by Shiashi Shiver. But under the day, the Jim by Shian will mother. Shian will. So,
do ya imaran, do ya,
do you the dimensions in you are?
Oh, do you, oh, so do you,
Judan Rebus, Judan shielding us, the Shilla Makolo, rest, the Shilla, Masu Gigi Ju, Jajan Rebus, Sini, Gigi Ju, Jajan Rebus, this lava. That under the Taro, the Shilla Rajan, she will marry.
do you,
The Shilla, the dimension, the Shilla, she is a she will marry. The she will marry.
Tambosum, Kojusum, Gable, the do ya,
the Junde Shedang, Junde Kujosu, and Zebuta, quantity, Joan, Ines, Loya, Amazon, and she is Loya. Then also that the Jiggy Judan Debiship and she did not see the wheel. The Jiggy Judan Debiship showed some of Mobo you could call it and the Mashim Hibua, the Mashim Hibur, Taba Mahibur, the Jiran Shibua, the Ranshi will.
So just now the explanations about the first three jewels are the result. The fourth one is the cause or the substantial cause, and the remaining three are the cooperative conditions. So yeah. So when we talk about this cause and yeah. So when we talk about this cause and when we talk about this cause and conditions and result, right? So in general, when we talk about the definitions of cause is that which produce, and the definitions of result is that which is produced, right? So these explanations on cause and effect, as mentioned just now, so is not in the context of the cause and effect the compounded cause and effect. So we talk about this compounded or the conditioned cause and effect, right? So it's not explained in such context, the cause and the result of that conditions or the condition cause and results.
Come the watch if anybody Jewish Habu, English Habu, and Debu Kujosu, come the watch if anybody Debu Kujosu, Jotan Elaine and Wura, come the watch if anybody come the watch anybody Jotan Elaine Shayma, that's a Yuma. But that Jotan Elaine Shad and also the Jigi Jotan Elaine stick a Shigura. The Jilla Jotan Elaine that can Nobo Yugura, stick a Shigoma. That can't the watch if anybody take Bombi Tokje and Debu Kujosu Toba Sonza. But the Judanile, child, you see, there is. Can't the worship a nimbo tell a Lord Johnny, they won't be top you, then drip who choose to Toba Sonda, that day, Judanile said, Nitan Shabbat Hemato, Judan to Judanile, Nubo Yugua. How the worship Nubo Marwa, or ditch about your hapo, yeah? Then on Jews and Mazo, the Gila market she will no more kisses she will.
So we say that the fourth one, the basic element, the Tathāgata essence, is the cause or the substantial cause, right? So, and as mentioned, and again, then they are not in the context of the condition, the conditioning, the conditioning cause and also the results. So why do we say that it is not explained in such context? Is because when we say condition, so conditioned or compounded, then is necessarily a functioning things. However, this Tathāgata essence, the basic element, is not a functioning thing. Then how do we say that? Then why does this basic element, the Tathāgata essence, is posited as a cause and conditions, and the first three jewels are posited as a result? So they are posited from the perspective of training in the Tathāgata essence, the basic element. By training one's mind in the Tathāgata essence, the basic element, one attains the resultant three jewels or three jewels. Therefore, the Tathāgata essence, the basic element, is posited as a cause and also or the substantial cause. So, however, if you were to think that this cause and the conditions is the conditioning cause and also the result, then is not, because to be a condition compounded or conditioned, then it must be a functioning thing. However, this basic element is not a functioning thing.
상황에서 되다 다 도지는 dimbo에 가서 얼마로 다 도시체 다 되고는 가서 되다 다 상주 근조 지역 근조 근디 근조 성견하는 내가 상주 근조는 신데 다 상주 근조도 막 인제 치에 있어와 상주 근조 이게 뭐 신이 지금도 쇼가 진도와 좋아 어다 내가
상주 근조
상주 근조 치어라 다 가서 돼 자와도 막 아무데 쇼가 디마 상주 근조 이제 시오디 다 디마서 동부 거시는 예, 상지 군주 이제도 마시오디 단 디마시지 인데다 디시지 인데서 니 아무 상지 군주 인데들 마 디장다 디마시 되나 디장지다 단 디시나 디장지 니시오 도와 니시오 도라 당아서 디마시지 도와 디마시 인데들라 바로 피나다 로브난다 비디 차니레 그래서 차니 다디 차니 원마 자도 한데 이제 아무데라 도와.
Then we come to so then we talk about the three jewels, right? So the first jewel that we are going to discuss is the Buddha jewel. So to talk about so the order of this text is slightly different from the Tibetan one. So here we are under the topic of Buddha jewel. So we go to page 38. Then number 2. Page 38. Page 38. Okay. Yep. So when we talk about the Buddha jewel, then then we will talk about the qualities of the Buddha. So the qualities of the Buddha, then the qualities of the Buddha, then this verse enumerates 8 qualities. So there are 8 qualities of the Buddha. They're pertaining to one's and others' welfare. And these are the unconditioned and conditioned qualities. So these 8 qualities, again, divided into 2, are grouped under 2. And these 2 categories is, one is unconditioned and the second one is conditioned qualities. And unconditioned qualities, the first one. So unconditioned qualities are again divided into 2, natural purity and purity of adventitious defilements. So in other words, is adventitious purity. So now I will show you. Yeah, Yuri. Share. Oh, that's one. Okay. So then we go back to page 37. So then this is the outline in relation to verse 1.4. So when we talk about the 8 qualities of the Buddha jewel, previously we have talked about it. So I will share here. So the qualities of the Buddha jewel is stated in verse 1.4. It says, "I bow down to the one without beginning, middle, or end, who has specified exertion, who through Buddhahood awakened to enlightenment, who upon enlightenment revealed the fearless and permanent path, so that who had not realized it might do so, who carrying the supreme sword and vajra of knowledge and loving kindness, slashes the sprouts of suffering and destroys the wall of doubt with its surrounding darkness of obfuscating views. So here, English translation. So probably then it would be good to translate. It revealed the non-disintegrating and permanent path.
我到底这个，当然是这个的是呢，当然你觉得嘛，社会的，人家是嘛，觉得社会的，看到是吧？你嘛是人家的，就是人家是的，真的地当的你来社会的，但对你来说，他一说啥嘞？但你嘛是人家的啦，让上西南大就人家知道，老不南大就千年社会是吧？上西南老不南大就千年，但当不强是必须的，当不俺说人家当不得的，但你嘛是人家当不得是吧？但当不得可能社会都是呢，人家确保当不得，但上西南大。对上西南的比较辛苦是吧？咱们原来的这种啊，俺的经济的状况是原来是这种啊，那原来的可是辛苦的。
So the eight qualities of a Buddha jewel then can be categorized into two. One is uncompounded, and the second one is compounded. And the uncompounded qualities or unconditioned qualities again can be divided into two. One is natural purity, and the second one is adventitious purity. So then, so refer to the notes that we previously shared before. So the first one, quality of being uncompounded, then is under the category of uncompounded qualities.
我到当部的看到，到上西南到的去协会的话，比你当部的上西南到了下，到他嘛遇到。他说上一级主管们就准备他堂前的这一点当比点把些的，把人家当部的协会的话，七八天，出去，
所以别家
考虑看多，当部的话，当部的嘛，这些听了国家不能做了，他嘛的话，那你们现在当部的上经常到了下午协会的话，那上经常的他嘛遇到他送，你把因他说上一级主管们就准备他堂前的这一点当比点把些。
So in relation to the first quality in our text, it says, so it says, its natural purity is not established inherently in the beginning, middle, and end. It is ultimate truth, free from all extremes of elaboration.
他的观点嘛，社会的看到人家当不得吧，经济的招，你们经济的话是经济的招是呢，就进来三等军，他们9万没吧，经济的意思2万没吧，那去年那边他了2万没吧是，听我说，他们9万没吧，但我说9万是就在进来没结果的话，他们9万没吧，9万没这里都把这2万给要嘛的是，但他们了2万给要嘛的是。我到底没有这些，不容易能那个你们写话是，你们写在的了，就精神的去了嘛了哇，你们写说大把了哇，大把人了的，我也是讲，大家看到他们就进来啥的9万元，把这进来2万给要嘛的，年他们人家的2万给要嘛的是，这没比这天堂吧，就是是，对吧？这没天堂比点吧，就是是我的。那你们写的当不的，你们写，你的理解啥？
So he says that it's not established inherently in the beginning, middle, or end, right? So the meaning is, so is not born, or is not born in the beginning, and is not abiding in the middle, and is not disintegrating or ceasing in the end. So thus, it is ultimate truth. So thus, it is uncompounded. So when we talk about uncompounded, means that it is not born in the beginning, and is not abiding in the middle, and is not ceasing in the end as well. Therefore, when we talk about uncompounded, and it is a permanent. So since it is without these three, the beginning, middle, and end, so it's not born, it's not non-arising, or you can say not born or non-arising, and non-abiding, and is non-disintegrating. So therefore, it is ultimate truth.
Oh, that there's a Ganda. There's a Kanda Rangi Job about China, you will. The Rangi Job to Beja Dinola, Toma, Rangi Tuba, which Tuba Tanka Tawas, London, that didn't Tuba and got a tower. That turned out with them about Tambo in Tambo in it than Dimashi, there's a Diroa, or the Tambo Dishiva. A quite the original of the change the tower did it. Tambo change the Joa, other nearby, Tanjipam, Asi, Jipam, and they turned out with them in the Chiva.
真的没原点。
真的，
真的没点吧？
真的没点吧了。点吧。
That's all. So the meaning of this this sentence, natural purity, is not established inherently in the beginning, middle, or end, and is ultimate truth. So means that is is without arising. So you can say is without arising or not born. In the beginning is not abiding. In the middle and non-ceasing in the end, so therefore it is ultimate truth. So
다 로브난다네 네비 똑지로와 네비 로브지 좀 타다 쉬와데 맞아 네비 로브지 좀 타다 쉬와 얘라티네 땐 처인 주발라 다 처인 주발라 다 매조라 때문에 그 쉬와도 니와 쉬와 토바시 이베잖아 이리와 얘들아 와 어디 데이터 아니바티 로브게 디마시 데이터 다 라기난다 인데지다 로브난다 차지비 인데 니셔고와 다 단자데 로브난다 차지비 인데 데레 로브난다 차지비 인데 인데 제나로 인데 니바티 So
we say that the unconditioned qualities can be divided into two. So the first one is natural purity, or you can say the factor of natural purity. So the full term will be unconditioned qualities being a factor of natural purity. That is a natural purity, and unconditioned quality that is an adventitious purity. So we refer to the second one. So these two are unconditioned quality. So the second quality is the purity of adventitious defilement is a pacification of all adventitious defilements through the antidotes. Through this, the total pacification of all effort needed to engage in enlightened activities has been attained. So the second quality, as you can see in this verse, who has pacified exertions. So these pacifications of exertions is the second quality, the quality of spontaneous, of being spontaneous, or the quality of spontaneous accomplishment.
Oh, it is that you know that somebody that somebody that decision and the machine did Rosarwa. I indigenous the machine did Rosary, the Neo, any Rosary. That decision did the machine. That decision did and then somebody. That decision did get out of the his day, this year, get out of it. That's Sanjay Rani number, Sanjeba, Dimbi Juba, you know, Miss Rwanda, that Dimbi Juba and Gaya, Mantoji, they can't number of any, Nis now Ruby, Chula, Chijago to the Tuzichiba. One can't device in Mibotella, one Jutella, that Chula Chishabanaji, they can't Tuzichiba, she, Mazo, Dry Chetawa, the Jim, Toba, Chetawa, the Tom Nibres, Tom you did somebody, you did somebody, we did Tom Nibres, yes, so you did generally, you did somebody, why did it?
Okay, so first two, the unconditioned qualities, that is a factor of natural purity, and the second unconditioned quality is the unconditioned quality that is a factor of adventitious purity. So these two are under the category of unconditioned qualities. So we have talked about where we have covered the unconditioned qualities. Then the rest are conditioned qualities. Then the third one is unconditioned qualities. It says, included within conditioned qualities is the exalted wisdom realizing the mode of all phenomena. So the third quality of Buddha jewel is exalted wisdom realizing the modes of all phenomena. It says, if elaborations of true establishment existed, they would be suitable to be observed by this wisdom of the completely awakened Buddha, but it does not see the slightest elaborations of true existence and realizes phenomena in the manner of pouring water into water, in which all dualistic appearances subside in dependence on ultimate truth. So, so when one realizes the meaning of the Tathāgata essence, the basic element, in other words, when one realizes the meaning of emptiness in the manner of pouring water into water, in which all dualistic appearances subside, and then this is the exalted wisdom realizing the modes of all phenomena. And it relates to the third quality that we previously shared. So the quality that cannot be realized exactly. So I rephrase the sentence. Quality that cannot be realized exactly through expressive sound and the conceptual thoughts as an appearance to an awareness that takes it as an appearing object. 예시당 가리 유진대 동반이라 유동반이 유진대 또 미시들와 대념바상 미시들와 대니 추자바나시 이는 누바리스 이는 누스와데 군족이 나와 요만 누바리스 이거다 와 군족으로 요만 군족이 나와 군족은 다 덴바트비 나와 요만 덴바트비 나와 누스 가스 와 다 유대 이시니까 타데마 나와 되어서 돼요 말이스 추자바나시 오예를 만남 되어와 대 나와 순간 누르 해서 나와 순간 누비 터네 또 추자바 저도 더 지고 해서 나와 순간 누가 했어. So it says here, in which all dualistic appearances subside, right? So dualistic appearances, there are three types of appearances, and the first one is appearances, conventional appearance, and the second one is appearance of through true establishment, and the third one is appearance of object and subject, because appearance of object and subject as different substantial entity. So these are the three types of appearances. I repeat, the first one is conventional appearance. The second one is appearance of true establishment or true existence. And the third one is appearance of object and subject as different substantial entity. So these three types of dualistic appearances subside. So subside also means that being refuted. So in other words, it's the vanishing of dualistic appearances, vanishing of these three types of dualistic appearances. And then in the manner of pouring water into water, so means that the object, which is emptiness, and the object possessor is the exalted wisdom realizing that. And these two are like in the manner of pouring water into water. So the fourth quality is the exalted wisdom realizing the variety. The exalted wisdom realizing the variety. So this is the fourth quality. it says the exalted wisdom of a Buddha that realizes the variety of phenomena is the awakening into Buddhahood through the direct realizations of those three. So then the realizations of those three refers to the first three qualities. And the next one is, next quality is loving kindness. So this is the fifth one. So he says, the next quality of loving kindness is the teaching of the path to disciples in order for the sentient beings who have not realized the modes and varieties of objects of knowledge to realize them. So this is the fifth quality. And regarding the attributes of the path, so here it says teaching of the path to disciples, right? So regarding the attributes of the path, shows it is a fearless path. So another translation for it would be non-disintegrating path. So it shows that it is a non-disintegrating path because it transcends the worldly, and that it is a permanent path because it is irreversible. So it is irreversible. Okay, it is irreversible means that it is irreversible from the state of enlightenment. So then it's called permanent path. So permanent here doesn't mean that it is not the permanent and the impermanent that we usually talk about. Here, permanent path. This permanent means always, persistently, or constantly. So means that one will one will be irreversible from the state of enlightenment. One will attain a path that is irreversible from the state of enlightenment. So that one will always or constantly engage in a path that is irreversible from the state of enlightenment. And the number six quality is ability. So as for the attributes of ability, carrying the supreme sword of knowledge and loving kindness, he cuts the sprouts of suffering pertaining to name and form within the 12 links of dependent origination. So there's so the sufferings is the root of suffering, and the sprouts refers to the name and form, the sprouts of name and form. So when we talk about this suffering, it refers to the root of suffering, and then when we talk about these sprouts, and then it refers to the sprouts of name and form within the 12 links of dependent origination.
Oh, that chensi doji ni bari thare chensi rati doji na chensi doji chona bit na so tawa nga se njita tata tawa chonzi siti chonzi yorwa tawa chonzi so da njipa nze ba ni ba da ta teson nyemuji yorwa teson nyemude e kanda lende yona na teson yona menya bi teson da sanji kunjo yona menya bi de teson so do re teson kunda nga so teson de kun다 이제 쉬워.
상기 군주 유나메
상지 군주 여다 명령 계속 렌데 여다 명령 비들이 계속 렌데기 계속돼 계속 빈다 대도도 해서 계속 명무지서 어디 나 군다라 자고 군다라 와 당가서 간다 디 최근에 토요일까라 디 연대디 토요일까라 아니 비 연대 토요일 어디 좀 도로 비슷해요 와.
And he says, with the virtue of knowledge and loving kindness, then he is endowed with the ability to destroy the wall of afflicted doubt with its surrounding darkness of obfuscated views. Afflicted doubt is only intellectually acquired. So when we talk about views here, then there are 5 views, right? Such as the view of transitory collections, extreme views, apprehensions, the view of apprehensions of bad views as supreme, and apprehensions of bad morality and conduct as supreme, and also wrong views. So these are the 5 views. I repeat: view of the transitory collections, extreme view, apprehensions of view as supreme, bad views as supreme, and apprehensions of bad morality and conduct as supreme, and wrong views. So these are the obfuscating views. And then together with the doubts, it destroys the wall of afflicted doubts, right? So doubts here refers to the afflicted doubts, and afflicted doubts refers to intellectually acquired doubts. So when we talk about this afflicted doubt, then it can be a doubt that thinks whether Buddha jewels exist or not, or a doubt that thinks whether karmic cause and effect exist or not, and so forth. So these afflicted doubts, and then together with the views that mentioned just now, then will be destroyed. Okay, so then he says, so the quality of the Buddha jewel can be subsumed into 2. So the qualities mentioned just now. So the qualities of the Buddha jewel can be subsumed into 2: the Dharmakaya, the truth body, for one's own welfare, and the Rupakaya, form body, for others' welfare. So the first refers to the truth body for one's own welfare, again divided into 2: the sphere and knowers.
다 인디제를 정말 하고 들어와 상지 인디제들와 다 인디제들 가서 안되다 안돼 추구지에는 뒤랑 세대 수구나 이단 니쇼데 다 안돼 추구라 뒤한테 인터리반이나 다 시대만 내서라다 디마시기 힌지 두세 되게 인디 담보 니다 인디 담보니다 진지 와 진지 도미 봐서 때 지간인도와 지가 되는게다 안돼 주인지 송 안돼 추구지에 송데 예서 와
So basically here we are identifying the 8 qualities as well, and then we identified which category it belongs to. So regarding the first, verse number 5, first line, A is first line. So uncompounded effortless. So effortless can also be it can be translated as spontaneous as well, or spontaneous accomplished. And together with the second line of verse number 5, not realized by other conditions. So first 3 qualities, uncompounded, effortless or spontaneous, and not realized by other conditions. These 3 are grouped in the truth body for one's own welfare. And then the third and fourth line of verse number 5, it says, endued with knowledge, kindness and ability. So these 3 are subsumed into the form body for the welfare of others.
단다 강성 가서 이들이 제반 내시 지하도 때를 되고 때 야 뒤에 면서 뒤에 갈래 가야 있어. 가도 면서 되게 찬스.
So when we identify the 8 qualities of Buddha, so even though previous verse, in this verse it identifies the 8 qualities of Buddha as well. However, when we identify 8 qualities of a Buddha, it's easier to identify the 8 qualities of Buddha through this verse. So this is a verse by itself. So it says uncompounded, effortless, not realized by other conditions, and deal with knowledge, kindness, and ability, and endowed with the 2 welfares is Buddhahood. So it's easier to identify the 8 qualities of a Buddha through this verse compared to the previous one. So next 3 verses, 6 to 8, then it talks about the modes of subsuming into the quality of one's own welfare and the qualities for one's own welfare and the qualities for the welfare of others. So next 3 verses indicates the modes of subsuming into the quality for one's own welfare and the qualities for others' welfare. So it says, it is uncompounded because its nature is without beginning, middle, or end. It is effortless. Again, it can be translated as spontaneous or spontaneous accomplishment. And because of having the pacified Dharma body, and it is not realized by other conditions because it is the objects of realizations of oneself. It is knowledge because it has realized the 3 aspects. It is loving kindness because it shows the path. It is ability because it abandons suffering and afflictions through exalted wisdom and compassion. The first 3 qualities fulfills one's own welfare, and the later 3 fulfill the welfare of others. So we talk about this for the truth body for the welfare of one's own welfare, and form body for the welfare of others, right? So the truth body for one's own welfare. So one of the truth body is nature truth body. So to explain these qualities, again, it says the subject, nature truth body of a complete Buddha. It possesses the uncompounded qualities. So because it is a body whose nature is without arising in the beginning, abiding in the middle, and disintegrating in the end. So because of this reason, therefore, we say that nature truth body of a Buddha possesses uncompounded qualities. And the second quality is spontaneous or effortless in our text. It says the nature truth body of a complete Buddha is spontaneous, and because it is a truth body that has specified conceptual thoughts of elaboration and exertion. So because of this reason, then we say that the Buddha, the nature truth body of a Buddha is spontaneous or effortless.
간사 신지 출입이 진지 기타와니 또 문이 다 연제다 대제스와 다 연제다 대대 그 상지랑니 집에 나자 소소 상지 리비기 이시지 무슨 또 바시 연탄이 거래스 연탄이 거 연지 송상 다 간다 연지 될라더니 다 연지 송바티 되마와 연지 송바티 되마레스 라나이 디시로라 나와다 지지자 나와다 기타와니 또 문이 되서 거와 기타와니 또 문이 되더와.
So the third quality is possesses a quality that are not realized as it is. So he says the nature truth body of a complete Buddha possesses qualities that are not realized as it is by other persons through the conditions of Dharma teaching, and this is because it is an ultimate body to be directly realized by the Buddha's exalted wisdom of individual self-knowledge of meditative equipoise. So because of this reason, therefore we say that nature truth body of Buddha possesses qualities that are not realized as it is by others. Yeah, so these three qualities are the qualities of a nature truth body for one's own welfare. And then the next is the subject, form body of a complete Buddha. So it talks about the qualities of form body of a Buddha, and it possesses qualities of exalted knower or exalted knowledge. So this is because a body it is a body that directly realizes the three aspects of the qualities for one's own welfare as stated above. So the three aspects of the qualities for one's own welfare is as stated above. So these three. So because it is a body that directly realizes these three aspects of the qualities. So therefore it possesses the qualities of exalted knower. So this exalted knower can be also translated as wisdom as well. So the qualities of wisdom, and the second one is quality of loving kindness. So form body of a complete Buddha possesses the quality of loving kindness because it shows the irreversible path to disciples. So because of this reason, then we say that form body of a complete Buddha possesses the quality of loving kindness. And so here it talks about the qualities of form body for the welfare of others. And quality number 6 is possesses qualities of power. So this is because out of exalted wisdom and compassion, is able to abandon afflictions included within view and doubt, as well as sufferings of disciples. So view here refers to the 5 views that just now we talk about the 5 views, right? So this is the view, what view here refers to, and doubts as well as sufferings of disciples. So because of this reason, then we say that the form body possesses the quality of power. And the first 3 qualities indicates for one's own welfare, and the later 3 indicate others' welfare. So the first 3 are the qualities for one's own welfare, and the second 3, the later 3 are the qualities for others' welfare. So and then including these 2, it says first 3 qualities indicate one's own welfare, and the later 3 indicate others' welfare, and this makes the 8 qualities of a Buddha. And next, we're going to talk about Dharma Jewel. So we will go to page 48. And there are also 8 qualities of the Dharma Jewel. So when we talk about the attributes of the qualities of Dharma jewels, then it can be subsumed into 2: true cessation and true path. True cessation and true paths. And under the outlines of true cessations, then it will explain the natural purity. Yeah, so there are explanations of the purity. In other words, is explanations of the factor of the purity and explanations of the purity of the adventitious. In other words, is explanations of the factor of the adventitious purity. And under the outlines of explanations of the natural purity, then there are 3 subdivisions. The first one is not being the objects of realization of the consciousness with dualistic appearances. Second, not being the object of realization of others. And the third one is being an object of realization through eliminating dualistic appearances.
Nina maybe to Toba Shiva so long. That Tambo, Nina that Chibi Shibi Rank Tosha Maniba Asha, Mashiri, that Kanji, Nemi Yomi, Yome Mai, Yome, Leshe Dong, Taba Mini Mizi, and the Soso Jangi Rishiwas, or did Siganidua, Padrima Janma Bishua.
So then we go back. Then we go back here. So also on page 49, it says, so under this outline, not being the objects of realizations of consciousness with dualistic appearances. So under this outline is verse number 9, BC. Then it is inexplicable as not non-existent, not existent, not existent and non-existent, no other than existent and non-existent, is devoid of description, is known by oneself alone as an Arya, and is pacification.
That kind of the Yomi Mimisa Digma Tenda, that Chu Kandijina, Mebata, Yobata, Yomi Niga, Teleshendo, Niga Maimbi, Rangi to Bataba, Nibi Japan Tagi, the Tawasi, that kind of change the wa, Dilebua. Chu Kunja, the Tele Mebata, Rangi, Yobata, Yomi Niga, Niga Maimbi, Togi Lui, Chitawa, Tom Niba. Dada, Jebat Sangita, Tane, Taki Chitawa, Germaniba. That doesn't open the Chitawagi, the Germany, but a total Niba. Did it on the Shambushi.
So regarding the verse, it says is inexplicable as not non-existent, not existent, not existence and non-existent, and not other than existence and non-existent. So these are the four extremes. These are the four extremes of elaborations. So these four extremes, 1, 2, 3, 4. So these four extremes. So means that Dharma jewel is not So the Dharma jewel is utterly non-existent. The Dharma jewel, So the Dharma jewel is not utterly non-existent. The Dharma jewel is not inherently existent. The Dharma jewel is not both existent and non-existent, and the Dharma jewel is not neither, other than the existent and non-existent is not neither. And it cannot be analyzed. Cannot be analyzed. So, and this cannot be analyzed by those awareness of logicians. So,
that kind of Jetawagi that needed the Jetawagi the machine get to Maniba in the world.
And this say the non-existent, not existent, not existent and non-existent, and not other than existent and non-existent. So it cannot be realized, it cannot be analyzed by the awareness of logicians. So logicians, this word logicians can mean many, it can refer to many things. It can be logicians as in non-Buddhist. It can be logicians who has not realized the modes of abiding of phenomena as it is. It can also refer to those of inferior, has a lower knowledge or lower knowledge. So here, it means that it cannot be analyzed by those awareness of logicians. So those who do not realize the meaning, the modes of abiding of phenomena as it is, and then it cannot, and it cannot be expressed as it is by sound and conceptual thoughts, by descriptions, conventions, and so forth, and words and so forth. So it refers to the qualities that was mentioned before, that it cannot be realized that it is by expressive sound and conceptual thoughts.
Oh, did you? That kind of thing you do, Sarwati. So the change it to Jam Moyibata, Nina the Chibi, Young Toja Moyiba, Nido Saswa, Nido Sarat and Latina to that. Gigi Data, Sumi Gigi Dallas Obata, Zuk Toja Moisa, the thing of the Shinji Toja Moyiba, Dendo Sarwa, the Laiba, Gigi Data. Data was Data Tobagi, Chitawagita, Jim Munibata, To Muniba. So they can and they change it to Jam Munibas there. Did it. How can they change what they want to Gigi Data, you would on Gita, Roa, indeed, in that kind of Silatin, that also drop it. Jimon, how can the Dato get those drop it? And race the Chevrolet.
Let me say,
you're the
Ola.
Gigi Data in Tamadra.
The Yundin Tamodi wrong. Page 52, then we go to page 52.2. So not being the objects of realizations of others, then this is the first quality of Dharma jewel. The Niba de Yanshita in Nagijala. Also the Shingi because Ninam Nube Tsugi Toba Chawa. That's all. Yeah. So so this covers the first quality of Dharma jewel, which is not being the objects of realizations of others. Then he says, because the modes of realization cannot be completed through expressive sound, language, defining things, it cannot be realized in dependence on others. So this is the first quality of Dharma jewel, not being the objects of realizations of others.
So Nina Shawari, yes, or Shawari Tedaki, or the Eugene Gone, don't go digital, you know the chatting, yes. But then Nina limits to Toba Shawari, yes, she would walk. Or that is so she ba sooner, Nina the Chibi, and Hangi Toja Mani by G, she said, Nina Chibi. That Shinji, a Toja Mani, Gigi Dallas, but did she say ba?
So she said, oh, the Sajiti,
she said, that's somebody. Nina Nubitsi Toba Shawari, yes, Papa Naji, Namja Suso Rangi Nina Nubitsi, that is Bashawa Toba Shawari, yes, addition.
Yundin Tambo de, Nina Najibi, Shibi Rangi Toja Maimba de Yundin Tamboroa, Shingi Toja Maimba de Yundin Nibaro. Shingi Toja Maimba de Yundin Tambore. 최근 쪽에 Yundin Tamboroa. So anything Nina Nubi Tsugi Toba Chawati, 최근 쪽에 Yundin Niba.
아무도 싫어. 이거 지다고 있어요. 아무도 그러죠.
가지.
담보 인제 네 걸마디 신을 이거 대진제도 그래도. 이제 담보 서로 신이가 된 사람이.
신상대가 이 차시 봐라. 사지 숨보대 연된 숨보 땡기로나.
그 담보도 시에 됐다고 그러지.
그래서 에디티 가서 대 연된 신기 도자 많이 받는데 가서 인수마트 시기. So the third outline is being an object of realization through eliminating dualistic appearances. So he says is known by the meditative equipoise of Arya beings through the eliminations of dualistic appearances. These explain by way of entity and object possessor the factor of natural purity that is a true cessation.
인제 당복 계산하는 것 같아. 근데 인제 당복을 하. 근데 여기 손도 와. 근데 손과도 인제 당복을 시. 인제 당복을.
제상에 대 시행기 도자 많이 봐.
진짜 도자 많이.
대 연된 당복이나 이바이나.
인제 당복을 해.
시행기 도자 많이 봐. 대 연된 당복이.
도자 이제 당복들 다 주지. 집에서 다 당복 뒤질라고 하거든. 얼마나 갈래 그래. 원래 그래도 나도 니나 누비지 내가 들이 했을 때 이제 맞다가 올시
대한 연대로
연대대 다 연대 담보도 오네 이제 니나 누비지 또 봐셔 말이스 somebody 또 연대 담보도 오네
니나 누비 추기 또봐 자와대 연대 담보래
연대 담보도 오네
okay yeah so I just now I said this one is the first quality, right? So it's not. So this is the first quality. So being an object of realization through eliminating dualistic appearances is the first quality of Dharma jewel.
속이 빼나 지지 저 지다와기다 제바다 또박이 지다와기다 또스 조바 많이 봐. 예, 니바듯이 준시 인제 담보들 준시 송시오.
근데 된 연인 담보 대 균생 송시기 원래
준시 송시고. 그게 담보들 아주 빼쳐지네 되리. 와.
가요. 비상.
빼쳐지는 맛 어디 치는 이게 담보로 자고.
이 연인 담보로 와.
이게 담보로.
연인 가서 연인 담보 아니 대 올라 대 균생 송시기 원래
준시 송시고 당가서 지지선 뭐 원래가 지금 근데 지금 지지선 이래다 이 답변이 신다는 얘기래 이제 담보도 그래 상도 매비 되지도 와 상도 매비 되게 되려스만 원래 마시는 비슷해 같이 거다 주시고
3m대로 3m이면 도매
그것도 지금 뭐 이제 3m이면 도매서 이제 수가 되다 마시고 또 원래 그래 담보 건 치진도 와 되게 많은 시제도 돼 관시 매미 요미 시진도 와 그들이 막 실례우도
공다기실라 단다 니는 너배 추기 또바 차와대 연된 당보이나 대 연된 당보 임바다 아니 대 올라 김sen 숨 요래 김sen 숨대 가르지 생대 삼민이면 도매로
근데 이게 담보 상도매도 연대에서 연대 코너 담보지 사실 너는 담보들라 상도매다 너도 로그는 되래 샹파 기지 좀 어디 요러 샹시 파비 기지 좀 어디데 다 연대 담보다 상도 매비 연대다 된 거래서 샹시 파비 기지 요러 어디 요러 샹시 파비 기지 어디 요러 이 상도 매비 연대다 된 거래서 그 대비 준시 속계거다 이제 속 다 준시 속가나 또기 너희 미기 ጭጣ와기도 따바셔 많이 봐시 담보 진짜 담보지 좋아 또기 너희 ጭጣ와기 따바셔 많이 봐시 이 진짜 담보지 진짜 니 봐서 지지지 저희 ጭጣ와기도 제바셔 많이 봐시 진짜 니 봐지 좋아 다 손바데 화비 나셔서 장리 비시지 너슨도 첨바래 에스 진짜 손다 연대 담보들라 간다 샹시 파빈 고딘데 상도 매비 연대다 된바래 에스 상도 매비 연대다 된바들라 준신 속게 말해. 해서 준신 속 이게 담보들라. 그들이
그래서 담보 안주대 그 연대 담보대 시야.
뭐 인데 담보들. 인데 담보들라. 다 준신 속 지진에서는 상시 법이 진 고딘데. 그렇죠? 상시 법이 진 고딘데 법이 진 고딘데 상도 매비 연대다 된 말이에요. 상도 매비 연대다 대비 준신 가르에서는 준신 속게. 또기를 매기 ጭጣ와기도 따바셔 많이 봤어요. 와 또길로 이렇게 ጭ따와기도 따바셔 많이 봐. 지지 저이 ጭ따와기도 제바셔 많이 봐. 와 지신이 그 지스토마데 파비나야 소도 장게 리비 시진 것은 제바셔. 예스 침만 예스. 뭐 지세소 대소자 산의 매비 이제다 된 말이에요. 예스 이게 담보지. 그 강의 진리도 다 달리고 강의 진리도
진짜.
저 연이 내리신도 연이서 되게 진짜 맞을 진짜 들려고 하거든.
되지 않아요.
된다는 것도 그러다 나만. 된다 싫어.
맞아. 예, 지상이 단다디 약간 니는 왜 수기 또바 차와디 연대 말어.
그들은 도그래서.
디낭 로라 도그래.
이 준세께 차이가 다니다. 미나는 몇 또 봐셔 많이데 파파 나자서 랑 리비 이게 이것이 시바를 이제 담아 이제 소요와 이제 손 이제 담아 미나는 몇 또 봐셔 미나는 몇 또 봐셔 와서 파피 나자서 랑 이제 손 이제 손바
김세 숨바디 윤딩 담보디
오 이제 손바 담아 다 지지 다서 될 이제 니바와 이제 니바 와 다 담보디 또길로 여기 또길로 지다와니 또 니바 담보디
그래서 어느티 사지 담보 숨데 양 윤딩 담보 숨데 시기로 김세 담보 숨 거나 김세 담보 숨
但想法的就是我定去经验什么的这些的，
那说OK yeah so there are three outlines here, right? So here, not being the object of realizations of consciousness with dualistic appearances. Second, being an object of realization through eliminating dualistic appearances. Not being the object of realizations of others. And the third one is being an object of realization through eliminating dualistic appearances. So these are the three outlines that shows the reasons that the true cessations in the continuum of an Arya Buddha possesses the quality of inconceivable. So these three outlines are the reasons to show that true cessation in the continuum of an Arya Bodhisattva possesses the quality of inconceivable. And this is the first quality of the Dharma jewel, which is quality of inconceivable. Let me show you. Yeah. So so they say is the subject, true cessation in the continuum of an Arya Bodhisattvas possesses the quality of inconceivable, and because it is not an object to be analyzed as it is to a logician's awareness in four possibilities, as mentioned just now, the meaning of logicians. So it is not an object to be expressed as it is by expressive sound, and it is directly known by an Arya's exalted wisdom of individual self-knowledge in meditative equipoise. So there are three reasons to show that true cessation in the continuum of an Arya Bodhisattvas possesses the quality of inconceivable, and we are in the context of the quality of Dharma jewel. So the first reason is it is not an object to be analyzed as it is to a logician's awareness in four possibilities. And this is under the first outline. So I need to change it back. Not being the object of realization of a consciousness with dualistic appearances. And then the second reason is under the outlines of not being the object of realizations of others. And the third one is being an object of realization through eliminating dualistic appearances. So here it says is not an object to be expressed as it is by expressive sound. So this is under the second outline. And then third one is directly known by an Arya's exalted wisdom of individual self-knowledge in meditative equipoise. And this is under the third outline. So the three reasons are indicated or stated to show that true cessation in the continuum of an Arya Bodhisattva possesses the quality of inconceivable.
我的理解我这个，当然说给让西南的领地的写草的，给了罗布南的也那么多啊，到罗布南的写不给我们你吧，罗布南的也得嘛写的，是吧？让西南的说的多少是吧？让西南的说的多少是吧？我的让西南的了写的，但你那的结巴的星期多叫嘛你把它是吧？你那个自己多把小孩子的送多少是吧？罗布南的写不多，到罗布南的了，看到。 早把这心里把东啊的那个别下了是个你们的东啊的，是根本这个自己满一边，你来写吧，稳当的，他就是啥子就是把那边给中国不能都老不喜欢我把事，你写不到老不喜欢我把事，我的了，你写了不到，
So this is explanations on the natural purity or the factor of the natural purity that is not being the object of realizations of consciousness with dualistic appearances, and that is not being not being the object of realizations of others, and being an object of realization through eliminating dualistic appearances. So this is the explanations on the natural purity. And then the next one is explanations on the purity of the adventitious. He says,
这真的有点逆修，有点逆，这真的有点逆修，有点逆的话是呢，你去过就有点当不得多差说啊，但当不得多差的，我上面当不得多差的话，但等到你把这个逆的看了是呢，等到你把这年龄接触吧没吧，生命接触弄不到吧没吧是你了不多啊，你了不多啊。
가서 님이 세대.
님이 지대.
가다 로북이 남다디.
네.
자와 메바당 심이
자와 메바당 심이 바시로. 동아지 자와는 메바시 인도와. 단 대차로서 봐. 님모 바다 동아지 시 대번지 봐. 심이 이지지 꾼다 바다. 그러와. 렌지지 사베 지리바 님비 좀 비보네. 로브난다 고바시 레고도와. 다디나 간다. 인도니시아. 님이 지대다. 님이 지대다. 记得生命节气那么多吧没把是，生命节气那多没把，另外就是电板这边，最近最近买一笔一些滚大大是吧？生命节气那多没把，天气的上面年末的天气上面年末种的过来，是吧？来的年末种吧鸡蛋，另外找来的年末种吧，来的年末吧，另外是电板这边最近一了这个滚大。 但人际上面就这么重，我是人物重的，你的你来不多啊，年龄就这么重的，那边的，生命节气能到那边的，你晓不多啊？我点你懂，但我的解决哪里的，老不难打的。
So he says, explanations of the purity of the adventitious. The cessation that is the purity of the adventitious is a pacification through applying the antidote that destroys the roots of suffering, karma, and affliction such as attachment, and the basis of suffering that is the innate and intellectually acquired improper mental attention, grasping at true existence and its seeds. So explanations of the purity of the adventitious under this outline, it shows two qualities of the Dharma jewel. So then I
동전에 시야들 동전에 시부도 맞아 담보 인데 요아 다 담보 시에서와 인데 담보 시에서와 인데 니바데 단 원데데 니미 주인데다 데데让我感觉里面你希望你觉得对吧？也是。
挺引梦当对咯，挺引梦当。
这种当然哪个模式？这点吧也是。 그러니까 이제 담보 이제 사면님이 이게 담보 받았다 이제 니 받다 이제 니 받다 님이 이제다 되게 되게 그런 거 같이 내내니 이제 나 받다 뭐 되게 싫어.
Then you can also see the qualities of Dharma jewel as well. So the first one being inconceivable. So we have already covered that. And then the second and the third quality is free from the two and non-conceptual. So then we go back to explanations of the purity of the adventitious. Then, so here it says, is a pacification through applying the antidotes that destroy the roots of suffering, karma, and afflictions such as attachment. So there's one point. And the basis of suffering that is the innate and intellectually acquired improper mental attention, grasping at true existence and its seeds. So, yeah. So it possesses the quality of, sorry, I need to show here, free from the two. So this is the second quality, free from the two. So the quality free from the two, the true cessation in the continuum of an Arya Bodhisattva possesses the quality free from the two. So because because it is a quality of pacifications of the two, which is the respective karma and afflictions. So free from the two refer to karma and afflictions. So that destroys the roots of suffering, which is karma, and the affliction such as attachment, right? So the second quality is free from the two, is free from the karma and afflictions. So it possesses the quality free from the two because it possesses the quality of pacifications of these two, karma and afflictions. And it possesses the quality of non-conceptual. The third quality, non-conceptual. And because because it is a quality free from the conceptual thoughts of improper mental attention, the cause for karma and afflictions. I repeat. So the third quality is the quality of non-conceptual. So the true cessation in the continuum of an Arya Bodhisattva possesses the quality of non-conceptual because it is a quality that is free from conceptual thoughts of improper mental attention, the cause for karma and afflictions. So as it says here, and the basis, so applying antidotes that destroy the karma afflictions and also the basis of suffering. So just now we say Buddha Dharma jewel can be divided into two, right? So the true cessations and true paths, right? So the first three qualities mentioned just now, inconceivable, free from the two, and non-conceptuals, these are the three qualities of true cessation. That's why when we give the example, the subject, the true cessation in the continuum of Arya Bodhisattvas, right? So these are the three qualities of true cessation. So then the next verse, here, verse number 9, DE, it says, with undefiled radiant light rays of stainless exalted wisdom, the Dharma subdues attachment, anger, and obscurations with regard to all objects. And these lines shows the qualities of true paths. The three qualities of true paths. So the three qualities subsumed into true paths are purity, clarity, and antidote. So these three qualities are indicated in these two lines. So to talk about the first quality, which is purity, it says the wisdom directly realizing selflessness does not have the defilement of the seeds of obscurations relevant to it or appropriate obscurations. And then the second quality is purity. So it says, it possesses the illuminations of the light of exalted wisdom, directly realizing suchness.
다 숨바도 님보들 와. 맞아 님보들 다 솔로서 이제 미버 끊어. 두버 도탄에 또랑 모이고는 이원도 차바다. 뭐 두버 도탄에 자지쇼도 넘버지 당와다 몸바다. 다 간다디 차다 모습이 님보 시고대. 와. 차다 모습 님보 다 줄라 이원그 도타바데. 이원그 도타바데 차바로 와. 이원그 도타바 차바. 다 무두버 도타바데 당와. 와. 무두버 도탄에 당와. 차다 모습 당와. 다 몸바라리 니는 메시바 몸바라리 데 좀 반제바데 머리 버려와. 머리 차다 모습 되게 nembo 때문에 예스가 차다 모습 되게 nembo 때문에 이제 그 작은도 문디쇼지 nembo 시비는 내세 이제 작은도 이제 두 바티
네, 조바디 님보대로.
nembo도
미둔 초기
음
님보.
문디쇼지 nembo도 다 문디쇼 들어와 차다 모습 들어와 차다 모습 돼
The third quality is antidote. Then it says, homage is paid to the excellent Dharma that destroys the attachment, exaggerating the attractiveness of all objects of observation, such as form and so forth. And by entity is that which sees things as pleasant, the first one. And the second is the anger which sees things as unpleasant and has the aspects of being opposed to them. And the third one is, and destroy the defective visions of confusion. So antidotes here means the antidotes to discordant class. So what are the discordant classes? Discordant class, and they are the three: attachment, the second, anger, and the third one is confusion or ignorance. So these are the three poisons: attachment, anger, and confusions. And the quality of antidotes is it becomes an antidote to these three: attachment, anger, and confusion. So attachment that sees things as pleasant, and anger that sees things as unpleasant, and the ignorance of not knowing the modes of abiding. So destroying the defective visions of confusions also means that destroys the ignorance of not knowing the modes of abiding.
다 이제 주든 거 사람으로서 다 이제 주든 거 차이지라 다 강시 차바다 차이 윤제 지다 차바다 윤제의 당 어디 거래 차바다 윤제 자와 코를 맞아오디 윤제 누가 줘야 때 윤제 주든 거 사러와 다 윤제 dim바도 제반이 쉬어와 제바 dim바니 맞다 쉬어 윤제 dim바도 제반이 나요와 다 윤제 주든 거 사러와 윤제 주든 거 사디 다 dim바도 제반이다 dim바데 다 차바다 차이 어디 와 제바데 차바다 자지 탑 람데시
차바단 자웨
차바다 자지 탑 람데
còn 준바데 차바단 자웨
차바다 자이 어디
고덴
어디
유데
제바데 차바다 자지 탑 람데 어디니 다 제바다 dim바다 제바니 이제 데려와
람덴기 윤덴데로 윤덴 준바단 기바로
dim바다 제바데 어디
강기 찾아와대로.
된 거리다. 여기 들어와. 뭐 뒤다 dim바 디서 치우라. 한번 송 어딘 주인데다. 심마서 남대 주인데서 치우라. 다 심마서다 안다 어디서 와서 차바다 자이 어딘 주인데서 남대서 와서 차바다 자이 탑 남대.
So in this verse, so we have already covered 6 qualities of Dhamma Jewel, right? So the first 3 are subsumed into the true cessation, and then true cessation, and the later 3 are subsumed into true paths, right? And then he says that which is and that by which there is separation from attachment. So here it shows that which separates from attachment, and that that which is the separations from attachment. So it shows 2 more. So there are 8 qualities of Dhamma jewels. So here, first 2 lines talks about the 6 qualities, and this line talks about the 7th and 8th qualities, which is that which separates from attachment and the separation from attachment. So the 7th quality is the quality of true cessation, which is the separation from attachment. And the number 8 quality is quality of true path that separates from that separates from attachment. Yeah, that separates from attachment. So it's that which is, and that by which. So that which is the number 7 quality, which is the quality of true cessation, which is the separation from attachment. So it says that which is separation from attachment, and that by which there is separation from attachment. So means that it refers to the number 8 quality, which is the quality of true path, the method that separates from attachment, that separates from attachment.
어디 자로 자와들이 뭐 자와 네 이제 뭐 예수야 삼매님이 도매봐 아사님이 추니지 관계 찾아와 내니 친이 제대 지에서 진도와 다때만 인디지 가서 같은 예수가 될라 소디아야 그래서 와 인디 참아도 땡거를 되나 딱 가서 추진인데 추진도 인디지도 뭐 예수디 어디라 답되고 가서 참아대요 그래서 와
Even though previous verses, they also shows the quality of Dharma jewel. However, when we ascertain the 8 qualities of Dharma jewel, it is easier to ascertain them through this verse. Verse number 10, it says, inconceivable, free from the two, non-conceptual, pure, clear, and of an antidotal class, that which is, and that by which there is separation from attachment. The Dharma is endowed with the characteristics of the true truths of cessation and path.
어디 원래 가서 자와데 차단이는 거보다 랑지된 바다 대기 동 최선 차단이는 거보다 랑지된 바다 그디스 우리 주다 우리 지기 대다자 인디 소소 지리 샤세 다디 인디마 디단 시고와 고디다 랑디니 디단 시고도 고디 공부서들와 고디 심마서 랑지된 인디 소 그래서 디르 시고도와.
Then we go to verse 11. He says, separation from attachment itself is included in the true path, truth of the path and the truth of cessation. These two, in that order, should be understood through their 3 qualities, respectively. So we have already talked about the first 3 qualities are subsumed into the true cessation, and the later 3 are subsumed into the true paths.
어디 얼마 좋아 이거 되는데
ngapchungage.
네, 다들 세세자도.
주세선서.
다들이 맞으면 겐디 그쪽만 다 말이야 지니 맞을 하는 거. 다들 내마다 지니 나서. 이 나서.
중계.
중계.
그냥 출근 쪽이 걸라로.
네, 출근 이거.
네, 순간이.
또 담이시다 주미시. 파빈 친시 삼이 이 신이 와 님의 도매데 다소손 니hin 요새 어디래도
Then we go to verse 12. It says, inconceivable because of being unanalyzable and inexpressible and known by the Aryas, peaceful because of being non-conceptual and without the 2, by being the 3, pure and so forth, is like the sun. So in this verse, it also talks about the 8 qualities of the Dharma jewel. It says it is unanalyzable as the 4 extremes, or in the 4 extremes, inexpressible based on a complete realization through names and concepts. Names and concepts, or terms and conceptual thoughts, and it is inconceivable because it is realized by an Arya personal meditative equipoise. So it can also be translated as Arya's individual meditative equipoise, and it is free from the 2 because karma and afflictions. 2 refer to karma and afflictions because these 2 are pacified without conceptions of true existence, and then the 3 qualities, pure, clear, and antidotes, and so forth. These are like the sun. So again, this verse identifies the 8 qualities.
내lun에서 또 내lun에서 또 샹세 파비지 쳔바데
내lun은 도 켄베
샹세 파비지 쳔바데
장심 파비
파비지 쳔바데고
유기 켄바데로
어다 쳔바들 마페샤나 디고 다 쳔바들
디 람데로
람데로 이제 된바로 다 내lun에서 또 샹세 파비지 쳔바데 다 니미 찐고 다바다 쳔바데 예세 와 니미 찐고 쳔다바
니미 찐고단
니미 찐고가 다 니미 찐고도 배나 와서 들어서 봐 코나도 서고 와 주바메바 아 니미 찐고배 다바 싸워서 뭐라 다바 대나시 다음에는 또 비들이 차바지 또비 히티기 네 뭐비 좀마달래 봐 좋아 와 다음에는 또 비 이 히트다 상세 법이지 오는 것도 비 히티기
파세님보대로 바바단 세와
니무 좀 다바다 레바다 좋아 니무 좀 레바다 봐 좋아 잠을 쉬고 와 어디에 치수 말이겠어 달랑디 치주서 치고.
So then we go to page 56. Then under the outlines of analogy of the sun, it says, sharing similarity with the pure opt of the sun, it's the exalted wisdom directly realizing selflessness is free from being tainted by the defilements of the close afflictions. In other words, is secondary afflictions. It is similar with the sun's illuminations of form through true paths, eliminating every single instance of all modes and varieties of objects of knowledge. So here it talks about it using the analogy of the sun to illustrate the qualities of Dharma jewel. So there are three qualities they are subsumed into the true paths, right? So the true paths, for example, the exalted knower in the continuum of an Arya Bodhisattvas, directly realizing the modes of abiding. So, for example, true paths. For example, the exalted knower in a continuum of an Arya Bodhisattva, directly realizing or directly knowing the modes of abiding. So it has the qualities of purity, clarity, and antidotes.
니바들와 다 상세 법이 되리 돈을 되게 쳔바되게 니미기 변에수 세와 셰바다 쳔킨 바세 와 니미기가 다 수도서 배 세보 지고로 와 세와 셰바다 쳔킨 바데 다 돈이 걸 때에 남디 되게 다 시작했다와다 쳔이와 탕지 사이와 이제 탕지 사이와 제가 제 창설로 사이와 탕지 넘바 탕지 나와 셰바 나와 지기 싫어서 니바디 와 니바디 되리에서 남디 치치 와
So it's free from being tainted by the defilements of the secondary afflictions. So this shows the quality of purity. And the second, he says, it is similar with the sun's illuminations of form through true paths, illuminating every single instance of all modes and varieties of objects of knowledge. Yeah. And this analogy illustrates, describes the second quality of the true paths, which is clarity. So the first one is purity, and the second one is illuminating, right? So it refers to the quality of clarity.
미비기 nembo chen 받아와 미비 nembo chen 받는 그 다음에 것은 비 상화지 시럽되기 그때 권한이 통해 지 시비로와 개 지번 시비의 니진이 넘바 탄지도 nembo 제거해서 시비의 니진이가 와 진이 넘바 탄지지 진이 바샤때 바 탄지기 nembo 제거해서
So third sentence shows the third quality of true paths, which is antidote. It says, just as the sun's rays destroy darkness and is similar to the remedy of darkness through the wisdom directly realizing selflessness, serving as the antidote to all aspects of the obscurations and obscurations to seeing reality. So all aspects of the obscurations includes afflictive and also knowledge obscurations. So today we have briefly discussed about the Buddha jewel and also Dharma jewel. Next class we are going to talk about the Sangha jewel. Oui. Còn lại ngô thì khảo bắt đầu đi. Thì tâm linh rồi, tâm linh chỉ đi được rồi, that's all. Yes, sure. So we conclude with dedication. We dedicate the roots of virtue to the flourishing of Buddha Dharma and to the excellent happiness of all sentient beings. We also dedicate these roots of virtue to all upholders of Buddha's teaching, mainly His Holiness the Dalai Lama, to live eons long, to have excellent health, and may all their enlightened activities and holy wishes be accomplished instantaneously and spread in all directions. We also dedicate these roots of virtue to our beloved teacher, Gyaltsab Lama Zopa Rinpoche. May Rinpoche's holy wishes and enlightened activities spread in all directions and accomplished instantaneously. We also dedicate these roots of virtue for the world peace, and may excellent happiness prevail in the world.